7 Days Rebellion in Song, and this song, Arbour Hill, is a very significant ballad. The author is unknown, but it's a reminder that all the men and women, I think, that were buried here were thrown into quicklime graves. Um, it was a policy of the English authority not to have people who died in the cause of liberty in Ireland, not to have them memorialised. So they buried them without any ceremony in graves that were unmarked. So going back to 1798, the men and insurgents who joined that rebellion of Wolfe Tone were buried here. And a couple of years afterwards, I think in 1799 or 1800, just before his rebellion, Robert Emmet came here, and he came here to venerate and pay tribute to the men and women of the rebellion of 1798. And he wrote these beautiful words, and I think they're very, very significant because Emmet's words are in many ways a tribute to the courage and bravery of the men and women that are buried here, that we don't know their names. No rising column marks this spot where many a victim lies, but all the blood which here has streamed to heaven for justice cries. It claims it on the oppressor's head, whose joy is in human woe, who drinks the tears of misery shed and mock them as they flow. It claims it on the callous judge, whose hands in blood are dyed, who arms injustice with the sword and balance throws aside. It claims it for the ruined isle, her wretched children's grave, where withered freedom droops its head and man exists a slave. O sacred justice, free this land from tyranny abhorred. Resume thy balance and thy seat. Resume, but sheath thy sword. No retribution should we seek as long as horror reigns. By mercy marked, may freedom rise, by cruelty unstained. Nor shall the tyrant's ashes mix with those our martyrs dead. This is a place where Aaron's sons in Aaron's cause have bled. And those who here are laid to rest, O hallowed be each name. Their memories are forever blessed, consigned to endless fame. Unconsecrated is this ground, unblessed by holy hands. No bell here toils its solemn sound, no monument here stands. But here the patriot tears are shed, and poor man's blessing given. These consecrate the virtuous dead and waft their fame to heaven. Robert Emmet was truly a gifted poet. And you have to remember, when he spoke these words here in Arbour Hill, there was no monument. This was just a grave that the insurgents had been thrown into. And, you know, of all the patriotic figures, Robert Emmet probably inspired more people in the 19th century by his actions than any other patriotic figure. His courage, his bravery, his ability to speak, his rational thinking about the future of Ireland. Had he been successful in 1803, we would have been spared a horrific extermination of the Irish people by the British government and the Act of Union, which decimated our country. There's no remorse, guilt, or apology ever from the British government for the treatment of the Irish people in the 19th century. But the horror that they placed the people of this land in will never be forgotten. It was cruel, it was brutal, it was thoughtless, heartless, and in many ways it will live as a stain on English administrations forever. Arbour Hill.